Hi, my name's Paul Grogan and welcome to the next in a series of Gaming Rules quick and dirty reviews. In this video I'm going to be talking about Dragon Castle. Originally published in 2017, released at Spiel that year by Horrible Games in Italy, and then picked up by Cool Mini or Not for wider distribution. Now the first thing I want to get clear is the game does not come with these dragons here. I'm really sorry, all those dragons up there. These are all the dragons from my old D&D gaming days, and I just thought since the game's called Dragon Castle, I'll put these on the table. So apologies if you thought they were included in the game. No, what is included in the game is this. Now, a number of people, the first impression they have is it's Mahjong. And interestingly enough, the original game of Mahjong is actually nothing like the computer game that a lot of us will know. You know, I grew up playing Mahjong on the PC, and it was a little solitaire game where you were trying to match tiles, but it was using tiles from an original game called Mahjong, which is nothing like the computer game. Anyway, what we now have is we have a board game which is based on the computer game. So in this game, you are trying to match tiles. Now, this is a great gateway game. I have used this game with non-gamers and families, and it's gone down an absolute treat. But for me, it still has enough little bite to it that I actually enjoy it myself. It isn't just, you know, a throwaway game that I'll only play with families. It can be used as a filler game, maybe a little bit long for the filler game category, depending on your definition of filler game. Now, one of the things that I like to cover in my reviews is the components. And of course, this game has got components like every game, but what I'm saying is the components in this game are quite special. So you have these tiles and they are nice, big, chunky tiles. They're all really well made. There's nothing wrong with any of them. They are all perfect. I was really worried when I got this game that, you know, there would be slight misprintings or the tiles wouldn't all be absolutely correct. But no, the tiles in the game are great. The other thing is these roofs. These are really good as well. Nice mold and everything else, and these fit on top of the other pieces. The rest of the components in the game, I'll be honest, are okay. The cards are cards. There's nothing wrong with them. The victory point tokens, they're victory point tokens. The boards that you put things on are thin card. There's nothing special in the rest of the components, but the tiles and the roofs are really, really nice. Now, rulebook wise, I had no problems learning the game from this rulebook. I mean, it's a fairly simple game, so you can't really go that wrong, but they have done a nice job in the rulebook of explaining it. And the game also comes with one player reference card, which is two-sided. But what I normally do is I normally put the two cards, one way up, one the other way up, between two of the players so that they can see everything in the game. And those player aids are really useful, and they do pretty much tell you the whole rules of the game. Now, I mentioned earlier on that this is very suitable as a family game. The game comes with an introductory game and an advanced game. And I know a lot of people will probably say that the advanced game is not that much different, that you should just jump straight in at the deep end with the advanced game. Now, with people who are experienced with games, I would definitely recommend that. For families who are not used to games, then definitely stick with the introductory version. But what the advanced version gives you is these dragon and spirit cards. And what you do is you choose one dragon card at random at the start of the game and one spirit card at random. And what these do is they make the game different. So the spirit card gives an ability that can be used during the game, and the dragon card indicates extra end game scoring opportunities if you meet the conditions on the card. So basically choosing these two cards is going to mix the game up a bit. Plus you can have all sorts of different setups of the board itself. Now that doesn't have a massive effect on the game, but it does change in the way that the tiles will be taken. It does make it slightly different. So I like to play with, the random dragon and spirit cards and a different variety of this, and there's enough replayability in the game for me. Now, it plays with 2 to 4 players. I've played it with all player counts. I do prefer it with 4 players, and the reason for that is you're trying to collect sets in this game, and the base type of things that you're trying to collect, there's 3 types of them. So in a 4-player game, well, let's talk about a 3-player game. In a 3-player game, it could be that each player is just collecting one particular type of tile, and there isn't any competition. Whereas in a 4-player game, there is a little bit of competition. One of the types of tiles, there's going to be competition for, as 2 players are going to be going for it. Now, once you decide that you're going for a set, you don't have to stick to that set. So don't worry about, oh, well, those 2 players in a 4-player game are going to get screwed. It's not like that. Depending on the layout of the tiles, every turn you need to be looking at the board position. You need to be going, right, well, I started to collect red, but actually another player had started to collect red as well, and the reds are actually running out. So I'm going to switch strategies, and the guy who was collecting yellow is actually now starting to collect something else instead. So there's lots of yellow available, I'll start collecting yellow. You have these little decisions to make on your turn, depending on what the other players are doing, what the other players are collecting, what's available, and of course the dragon and the spirit cards if you're playing with them, because they will give you extra scoring opportunities and a way to do things with your tiles. Now the other important thing is how you build up your own little player board. So you're placing tiles on your player board as the game goes on, and again there's lots of different strategies about how you build it up, which I quite like. You can build small groups which score early but for fewer points, or you can build large groups which will end up being more effective and it'll be worth more points. But again, the dragon and the spirit cards will influence the way that you're building your board. So what do I think about the game? Well, if you haven't guessed so far, I really like this game. I'll be honest with you, when I got told about this game, I thought, oh, this is just going to be some light throwaway game that I'm going to play a few times and I'm not really going to enjoy myself. And I'm not big on games which are just, oh, this game is great because it has nice components. No, for me, I want a good game. The components being nice is just, it's a side effect really. So I was a little worried when I got a copy of this game. I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure whether I'm going to like this or not. And after playing it a number of times and then demoing it to a number of people at various conventions, most people I've played it with have really liked this game. I love this game. This is one of my go-to games that I now use, when we've only got half an hour or I'm introducing new gamers to the hobby. And yeah, so that's Dragon Castle. That's what I think about it. If you like this review, then please consider supporting me on Patreon. This review was done because my Patreon supporters voted, and this was one of the reviews that I was going to do in May 2018. Although it's slightly late, it is June, but I got it done in the end. So there we go. Until next time, take care, and thanks for watching.